In the hospital, we went to the A&E department, and there was like, we just kind of like waited there, but there was like nobody there, and like honestly, I couldn't even stand up. Even I live in a flat, so walking down the stairs of like the foyer or whatever to get to the taxi, I like couldn't walk. I mean, I think I fell down the stairs a few times. It was dreadful. I couldn't even stand or sit like because like I felt something like so much pressure. Um, I was just crunched over like this, sitting on the floor, and then like the nurses put me into the room, and they left me in there for like an hour. I guess forgot about me. I was in so much pain. I was crying. I was screaming. I mean, I think the nurses and stuff were complaining about me because I was making so much noise, and they were like, "There's nothing we can do about it. You just need to wait. We need to find you in the system." And I was in tears. I mean, I was in so much pain, and they gave me this gown to put on, but then I started to bleed. Like a big rush of blood started coming out of me, and I was like panicking. I was like, shit, there's like blood everywhere, bright red blood, and I started crying. Then they finally came in and put me up on the table, and then a woman doctor came in, and she couldn't have been more rude, more horrible. I mean, this is me in so much pain, barely able to stand, and I'm going through this, you know, at such a young age, I guess, and I'm losing my baby, and I'm having to deal with all this, and all I want for you is to give me some sympathy, give me some meds, and reassure me that, this is normal, I'm going to be fine, I'm going to get out of this, nothing. He was like screaming in my face, telling me, stop crying, you need to calm down, you need to lie down, you'll need to let us examine you. And that's what I was doing, but like I was in so much pain, and like nobody understood how much pain I was in. Until how much pain I was in, they tried to like shove this like glass thing, but I can only describe it like a measuring drug up my vajayjay. It was so painful, and I was like, "Ow, stop, you can't do that, I'm like in too much pain." And basically they were getting like real pissed off with me. I could tell. I know it was a night shift, and they'd probably been working all night, and they were just about to finish, and other people were about to come in, but still, I mean, it was dreadful. If I could complain, I would, but I don't even want to go there. So finally she just decided, to like take my bloods and stuff, and my blood pressure, and put a drip in me. So while she went away to get all that, I sat up in the bed because I felt a lot of pressure, and I started to bleed, and then I guess the baby and the placenta just kind of, I mean, I know it sounds weird, but they kind of slid out, and I didn't want to look. I just thought it was a big gush of blood. It didn't feel painful. It didn't really feel like anything. It just felt like a big bubble coming out of me. And then my boyfriend was sitting in the room. I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "I think that's the baby." And I was like, "I don't want to look." And he's like, "Me neither." So I didn't really look like at all. But I glanced a little bit behind me, and I saw this big red, about that size. I guess it looked like a red circle, kind of like just like a big potato. And the doctor then came in, and I said, "I don't want to look at it, I really can't look at it." To this day I do kind of regret not looking, because that was my baby, and I'm never going to get that memory back. But I just couldn't look at the way I was, and I was scared to see. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know I was going to see like a miniature form baby there or whatever. I just couldn't look. The doctor said she had to take it away and examine it, and she did, and she said, yeah, it was a baby, and it was a placenta and stuff. And, I lay down in the bed, and I got like she gave me some morphine, which done no good because the pain was kind of easing up. I still had a lot of pressure and a lot of sharp pain in like my stomach and my lower stomach, but it wasn't as bad as it had been, and I could kind of handle that. I didn't really feel emotional and sad on that day, when, you know, all that was happening, just because like I had been in a lot of pain and I hadn't had any sleep for the past 3 days, you know, and it was like a really big experience. So I was more like, you know, dealing with the physical side than the emotional side at that point. You know, I ended up having to get transferred to another hospital because I had lost quite a lot of blood, and they actually thought that I would need to have a blood um, transfusion, I think it was, something like that, because I had lost so much blood. I ended up having to stay in the other hospital for like, I think it was like for 10 hours, you know. They wanted to keep me in overnight, but I was adamant I wanted to go home, you know. I wanted to go back to my own bed and I just wanted to sleep. When I was in the other hospital, they were basically taking my blood, looking at my blood count, you know, they wanted me to stay there because my blood pressure was really high. They had to wait till it like got down to a normal level, and then, you know, they had to check my blood type because I don't know what it was, but apparently there was something I would need, like an injection or whatever. Finally, you know, it turned out I was lucky and I didn't need a blood transfusion. So, you know, I was really worried about that, so I was really happy I didn't need to have one. Well, wasn't happy, but, you know, I guess I was relieved, and then my blood pressure kind of went down, went back to normal, and I was finally allowed home. I got my dad to pick us up from the hospital, and, you know, we drove home, and, you know, I fell asleep on the couch, and I think I slept for like 2 days straight, and, you know, after the 2 days, you know, I still wasn't really emotional. It took about a week after I had the miscarriage for me, you know, for it to sink in. I think because of what I've been through with such traumatic experience, it took quite a while for it to sink in, and then when it finally did sink in, you know, it sucked. I mean, you know, I would just cry for days and stuff, and it was right near Christmas, and I thought I should be announcing, I should have the baby scan, I should be announcing it, and, you know, it was a really hard time, and it took a long time for me to, you know, get over it, but I wouldn't say I'm over it, I'm saying I'm dealing with it and feeling pretty good about myself, and I'm always going to have that love in my heart that I do have for my baby. And because I carried it until I was 13 weeks, and, you know, every night I would hold my stomach and, you know, fall asleep with my hands over my belly, and I would like dream about all the stuff we were going to do together, and I would talk to it, you know, and pray. But I am really hopeful about the future. I'm not trying to have a baby right now. I just want to enjoy being 20 and going to college and spending time with my friends, and, you know, we're building my relationship with my boyfriend, and I think we're going to wait 2 more years, and then we are going to try for another baby. I don't know if it was, obviously, like everybody that's had a miscarriage, you don't know if it's just a one-off accident or it's going to happen again, or, you know, there's something, you know, you need to do to help having a healthy pregnancy. I really don't know. As of now, from what the doctors and everybody has told me, is that, you know, it's a one-off occurrence. You know, I will eventually be able to go and have my own baby and stuff. You know, lots of people have said maybe my body just wasn't ready. And, you know, all I can do is really trust what they've told me. There's nothing more I can do about it. So that's what I'm going to do. My plans for in 2 years when I try again for a baby, you know, is to eat a lot more healthier, you know, eat my 5 a day, and take a lot of tablets like 6 months before I try, and, you know, put on a little bit more weight, and, you know, just get myself really healthy and ready for having a baby. And, you know, before I get pregnant again, I'm going to speak to my doctor. So yeah, I mean, I hope this story kind of helped anyone who's gone through it or been through it, and you can kind of relate to my story. It's been like 7 months since it happened, and, you know, it happened. So it is been a really hard experience to go through, but, you know, I'm getting there. I'm learning to be happy. You know, sometimes I do pray and, you know, pray about my baby and pray to God to look after it, but, and I do think about it like all the time, but apart from that, I feel like my grieving stage is over and I'm ready to, you know, be happy about myself, be happy about my relationship, and yeah, I'm still, you know, I'm constantly, you know, on the baby center website, you know, reading other people's stories about their miscarriage and trying to help other people's. And, you know, I think it's something I really want to do, go into is miscarriage counselling, eventually, and just help other women. Yeah, I'm sorry this video was kind of down today, but thanks for watching, and please, please, if you've been through this, please comment below, and I love you, and thank you for watching it to the end.